Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Ambassador Dr. Ikonah, and I'm here to just do a talk. I should have done it last night. I was so tired. And God, I told him, I said, I just need to get some rest. But I got on the bed and, sit on the side of the bed, and then I started preaching. So all that I preached last night, I should have been preaching. I should have been preaching it last night on the YouTube. So I'm going to try to retrieve some of it. I don't know. But I just need to tell you some things. I know there are a lot of people out there that are praying for me. And I know that some people have gotten off track and they thought that maybe I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. But it's kind of difficult when you got people making you sick and you're trying to, get up on your feet. And as soon as you try to get up, it seems like you get pushed back down again. So, it's like six in one hand and half a dozen in the other. And, it's not all the way things seem. I had someone tell me that I need to get in the Bible more, and I do read the Bible, but I don't read it as much as I used to, because I started reading the Bible when I was like about 6 or 7 years old. And God called me to ministry, to be a pastor when I was about 8 years. I was 8 years old. And it just went on from there. And I was in the Bible even when nobody else was in the Bible in my house. My mother made sure I was in church every time the door opened, But I loved going to church, and that was the thing that was good about it. And I had the best Sunday school teacher. I've had 2 Sunday school teachers in my whole life that was just astronomical. And she showed me Jesus, and I was able to accept him, and I was able to know him. So I had 2 people that were just really great. I can't remember her name, but I was in a little church. It was a little small church. And I was right there with my eyes open and my ears, listening. And I had 8 brothers and sisters, and I was the only one that was like it, seemed like it. And boy, it's something. But anyway, I come from a family of 8 children. It would have been 10, but one died in stillbirth, and the other one died shortly after birth, And I know it was witchcraft involved, because my mother had beautiful babies. Golly. I mean, really beautiful babies. And my family was basically, has a lineage, of course, from Israel, and also when in America, because they married Indians, which were black, not white. There were no white Indians there. And that's a hybrid, or not a hybrid, that's I don't know, a mutt. Because the Indians are black, really. And the Cherokees were black, the Blackfoot were black. My mother was Blackfoot, and my father was Cherokee. And I'm a mutt, I guess you say, because I got also, coming from Israel, so I'm really Hebrew, But they call us black, and they call us Black Americans and all that, but we're not really. Those that came over on the boat are not black. We're not Black Americans. They call us that because we came over here, but at first they said we were not even human, And even now they're saying that that the people that call themselves Jewish in Israel right now, they said that they wrote the Bible. Like they were back there then. I mean, people, I don't know, there's something else. There's no in the world that they wrote the Bible. Nobody wrote the Bible but the Hebrews, Jacob's people. So, I don't know what's going on with this world. They just lie and feed people lies, and you're supposed to eat it. And then, I know God is cleansing the place. He's cleansed it. There's wrong and then there's right, and I don't think that there should have been ethnic cleansing. A lot of people think it's okay. But, we would never do that to I think it's Philistines, right? I think it's not the Philistines, is it? The people that they put in Gaza. That's what I'm talking about. I think it's right. But anyway, because they were our friends. While we were going out and doing business and going out on the highways and byways, so to speak, all to the different countries and everything and selling our goods, they were tending the flock and tending the fields and everything for us. And if people do a little research, they would know the truth, but people don't want to, they're lazy. And so and I'm so glad that Putin came out and told the truth. I knew that years ago, because I found out that he had that stash of all the pictures of Jesus and the prophets and the everybody, Mary and Mary Magdalene and all of them, pictures of them that were in his vault in the lower levels of the Kremlin. And I guess he moved them because he knew that they were going to get damaged if he hadn't moved them, and that's how it came out. But anyway, I'm glad it came out, because now the people know who we truly are, God's people. And they said, well, God's not black. I heard when people heard, God's not black because he's a spirit. Yeah, that's true. But Jesus is, because he's also man. And he was in the tribe of Judah, the same tribe that I was in, and a lot of others. Most of the tribes were destroyed, through wars and stuff and everything. But there were a few that, were still alive in Jerusalem when they came to get us there to try to kill us, I think, I can't remember which one, but I think it's the Levites, I believe, that were there with us in Jerusalem. I believe that's right. Just the Levites and tribe of Judah. But anyway, you can double check me on that. But anyway, so we started running as usual. Some went up north, some went down into Africa. And no, we're not Africans. You're not Africans. We're not Africans, okay? That's just that. And we were living in Africa because we were always running away from, we lived in Africa rather, and some of them are still there in Africa, in the northern part of Africa, because the Africans didn't want us in their area, that's for sure. They were trying to get rid of us, and some of them even sold us to the ships. So for trinkets. So, the thing is, I let you know right there, there was no love lost there. But anyway, it's just, I don't know. There's so much stuff that's happened. And I just want to talk, touch on a few things. I'm not going to be able to tell you all that I talked about last night, but I can tell you, some things, because I think that it's important that you know. And I don't think that ignorance is not bliss. You just get, messed over like he did with that election with Bynum. Hurry up, go and vote, after they gave Trump and all his people COVID. Jesus. I mean, some people are just evil, they're just evil. And no matter what they do, they're doing evil, and now he's getting caught. Thank you, Jesus. But anyway, so, and I, one thing I really hate, really, in this world is that, even though, let's get this off. I got to have some light because I have light in here. But anyway, you better turn this on too. But anyway, people are just very wicked and getting more sinful than ever. You have very few that are not, and here we are, trying to ascend to heaven and everything, and everybody think they're going to heaven, and then they're doing all kinds of wickedness and thinking that, they're on the right road and everything, but you cannot be doing both. You can't do both. You be either with him or you're not, so a lot of people forget that, and they just want to do what they want to do and do with other people what they want to do. They trying to kill people, trying to witch them, trying to curse them, trying to destroy them and all kinds of things, and thinking that they're going to heaven. The only place you're going to do is go to hell, because he's going to say, I never knew you, and go into, where. So anyway, that's just the way it is. And I noticed that even some people that are supposed to be on your side, boy, they just starting to turn. I say, how could this be? All of us supposed to be going the same place, and we're all doing the same thing, basically, trying to enlighten the people about what's going on in the world and also what God wants us to know. And then they'll come against each other. Go figure. they'll start talking about each other. Now, that's true. There are some people that are into witchcraft and stuff like that and doing all kinds of things, you know. They probably just don't know any better, or either they too young to know or what. I don't know what it is. But I just had to say bye-bye, you know. And I've ran into a few of those on YouTube, too. And I said, wow. And you know, people say, well, you're running to one show to another trying to find somebody to pray for you. I ain't looking for nobody to pray for me. I can pray for myself. You know, but I'm looking to see if is there any truth in all of this? You know, is any truth in what they say? I want to know who the true visionaries are. I want to know who the true people are that is with God. I don't want to, what do you call it? Facsimile, or whatever they call it. But anyway, you know what I mean. I don't want somebody that's false talking, you know, in my ear. You know, and so I just listened to them to see what they got to say, you know, and then after a while I said, oh, okay, bye. You know, but there are a few people that are really truthful. Now, I don't know, it's really bad. It's just bad. And a lot of them are listening to demons and doctrines of demons, and, you know, it's pretty bad. So, anyway, what do I want to talk about? You know, those of you that are on the right track and going up, you know, just make sure you stay on the right track. Make sure you don't deviate from what God has for you to do. By this time, you should know the Bible. There are so many levels, you know. Everybody starts on level 1 anyway, and I'm up there a little bit, you know, now. But it seems like I'm close to the walk-in, and this is when I get the most attack. I would like to be on level 7, but I know I'm on 6. But anyway, so I just, you know, I'm trying to keep from sliding down because I run into so many demons. And I mean, they're around me, believe me, everywhere I go. Even in the church, you know, the church that I started going to, I said, boy, how is this happening? But you know, if you're on your way up, you know, and God is using you for something more important, be sure you're going to be faced with demons like you wouldn't believe. So you better, you know, learn how to fight. And that's one thing I had to learn, because when I was in elementary school, and I'm going all the way back, I didn't know I was anointed. You know, I didn't know. And I didn't know why all the kids were, you know, why they were coming against me with, you know, they were, what you call them, bullies. And they were, you know, demonic, of course. Just like the ones you saw on the that movie that they had out about the what is something of Christ? Jesus, I'm lost of words here. You know, the one that they showed where Jesus was on the cross and how they were beating him before he got there, and how he had to carry the cross and all that. What was that? The something of Christ. I forget. I think of it in a minute, but you probably know before I will. But anyway, remember those kids that were coming against Judas? I think it was, yeah, because he was running from them, and they were saying all kinds of stuff, and they were doing all kinds of wickedness. You know, remember how their faces were and everything? That took me right back to when I was in elementary school. I say, so that's what that was, you know, because a lot of those kids had been mishandled and everything by their parents and people around them, you know, everything. And they had many demons, and nobody cast them out. So here they are coming against Judas, and isn't that funny? Judas was doing wickedness, you know, he against Jesus, and then, you know, these kids were running after him and, you know, harassing him, but they were, you know, demons, really, just demons, demonic spirits inside the children. So they were very demonic, you know. And so you could see that on there. And I don't know why he knew that, because he was a movie star, you know. So he was not a pastor or nothing like that. And I can't even remember his name. I see his face, but at that time I was in Hollywood too. But I you know, I don't think I've ever done anything with him though. I don't know really. I have to look at I have some of my resumes still, but anyway, I don't think I ever did anything with him. I don't think so. I'm not sure. But anyway, can't even think of his name. I don't even know if he's living or dead right now, but he's probably alive still. But anyway, I was trying to get that name of the movie. But he was a movie star, and he did the movie, and I was shocked that he was able to do that, and he was so, most of the stuff was pretty much on par. There are a few things that I have begged to differ with because of the race of the people. But I guess he wanted to have the language, down. So that's probably why he did it, because they were speaking, the language of the time. So, but it was the wrong color. We had that language at one time, but, when we came over here, they wouldn't let us speak our languages. They gave us English. English to speak, but we couldn't read it, So that's most unfortunate, but we lost our language, and so we need to get it back if we can, but I don't think that it's going to happen. So now, everything's coming out and people are apologizing and everything for what happened to us, but they probably weren't the people that did it. They're probably not from the lineage of the people that did it, I bet. I think they're just people that they saw looking on and couldn't do nothing about it, and they thought it was a horrible thing, maybe. And then, just said, well, we need to apologize to them, but at least somebody apologized. But I think that the reason why things are going on like it is in Israel right now, I think God is doing a cleansing just like he's doing in the United States, because sin is, run its course. And, that's why people in Israel, it was one woman I know was crying out, said, black folks, come back to Israel. Why you want us to come and take your carnage? That y'all started by lying, saying that you were us. And that's what those people that were in Gaza were upset about, because they were saying that they were us, and they knew the truth because they were there the whole time. Ain't nothing changed, except the people that came from, what is it, Carson, what is it, Carney? What is it? From right between, Carsonea, start with a K. Khazaria, that's what it is. They came from Khazaria, that's between Russia and, what's on the other side of Russia, on the east side of Russia, that big country, Jesus, this is ridiculous. Start with a T. Wow. I forget. I come back to it. The Passion of Christ is the name of the movie, okay? And the name of the country that I'm talking about that's to the east of Russia, start with a T. What is that? Oh, shoot, I can't get it. I get it in a few. But anyway, I'm getting older, I guess. But that's, that's something that I have to deal with. But anyway, that's where they came from. And what happened is when people would come to try to destroy us, especially the Romans, when they would come and try to kill us and all that stuff. Some of us went up to that place and we taught them our religion and everything, and they like wearing those robes and stuff, really. And so what happened is that they learned the religion and they decided to accept it. And I guess there was some inner, having intercourse with the women or whatever, and so a lot of them came out with curly hair. That's what happened. And you can take that to the bank. And so they just said when they, I guess maybe their own people didn't want them around because they knew they had been, messing with, the people that came up, from Israel. So the thing is that in the 40s, I think it was 46, when they decided to give the land to them, because they had some of our blood, of course, but that didn't mean that they were us, okay? They just had some of our blood, but they were half-breeds, And so they're in Israel, and, here now they're trying to get rid of the Philistines. Is it Philistines? It's not the Philistines. What is it? It started with a P, but I forget. But anyway, it's been a while since I studied all this. I just did research because I was in the bed sick for 5 years at the hands of Christians and Syrians that came over with Hillary. And I guess you're wondering, why would I name that? Okay. The Syrians that came over brought snakes. They're called python spirits. And they brought people over that were half people, not even whole people, like half and half, And I don't really think all the Syrians really approve of them, because I went to the doctor and I know she was Syrian. I just could tell because the way she looked. I know their appearance. And I just went to her, in order to find out about some things that happened to me as a result of that. And she said she didn't have that experience. She didn't know that kind of information and whatever. But I knew she did, because when I was telling her about it, she sunk. And I knew that she wasn't part of it, but she sunk. And she just fell on the wall. And she just wanted to get out of there, because she knew what I was telling her was true. And so there's so many things that Americans don't know, and they just coming again, seeing this stuff where they, not necessarily seeing it, because if you ever noticed, have you noticed that there are no birds, Holly? I mean, the birds are just trying to scamper away from wherever they are. And so right now I'm looking at trees out here everywhere. And when I first got here, I noticed that there were some things happening, but you don't see any birds right now, no chirping or nothing. And the dogs are barking because they have to have something to eat. People say that spirits don't have to eat, and I don't know if it's because they're half breeds or what. I don't know what's going on with that, but I just know that they must have did some kind of a lab experiments rather. And I'm figuring that they must have done that, because how would you get half human and half python? Because this girl that I met when I was, went to this really nice luxury apartment, I moved in, and she came in about maybe 3 years after I got there. She had a beautiful apartment. But the one that was there before she came, she was also from Syria. I don't know if she was a half-breed or not. She looked like she wasn't, but she was very tall, and she was, believe it or not, she was homosexual. But, and it was obvious. But she looked at me like, what are you doing here? When I first came in, like, what are you doing here? Because it was a place where it was mostly white folks. And you had about maybe four black people that lived there at the time. But they didn't want no black folks there, because they were supposed to be, the number one pristine place to go, And so I got in, and I think she forgot what my name was or something, because she called me when I was in the hospital. And I was trying to wait on them to call and, give me a place, because I was about, getting close. And so they called me and they told me I had to send the information in, and it has to be in within by the next day at like 4 o'clock or something like that. And I did that because I always take my computer and my printer with me, so I was able to do that and get it in. And then I had to what else? I think it's some other stipulation. The money. I had to have all the money, which I did, because I think God set that up for me, because because I didn't have a place to stay. And I gave up my rental that I had when I went in the hospital, because I knew I was going to be there in a while, because the people had made me sick where I went to church. Go figure. And so I was in that hospital, I think about almost 2 months. Almost too much. 2 months, yeah. And so I had the money, and I just paid it. And then when I got there, looked like she was angry, because she didn't know that I was who I was. She forgot my name. I think that's what happened. And so, Thompson, ikonah, Abukar, how many black folks have names like that? There's a story behind that too, though. But anyway, so, I went ahead and moved in. I didn't have any furniture or nothing else. I bought everything new or near new. And so I know how to, fix a place. I really do. I'm good at that in decorations. I decorated that place so beautiful. When she came in, she was livid. And so I knew that I didn't have no friend there. And so they ended up selling that building to another group. And so that's when the other one came in. And I saw her sitting there at the desk. She was a little bitty thing, maybe about 4 feet. And she didn't look human. She wasn't ugly, but she didn't look human. And I said, she's not even human. I'm a seer, I don't claim to be in the office of a prophet, but I do prophesy because I'm also a pastor. But I'm a seer, for sure. And so I was looking at her, I said, she's not human. And she's working there, showing the building and everything, showing people the rooms and everything. And so when I revealed that, I guess she hated me the most. But anyway, she came in and tore up all my furniture. Tore up my clothes, take my clothes and give to a friend to wear, I guess to work or whatever, because she was about the same size. She was on the other side of the building, around the corner at the other end. She was on the, northeast end, and I was on the southwest end. And so she took all my clothes. That one day I got up to go to church and didn't have no clothes to wear. They had taken all my clothes. I had about 5 pieces sitting up there, and there were things that I couldn't wear. She couldn't have worn them too because they're like the size of too small. And so I was livid, but I did find something, to put on. But so anyway, I made such a big fuss about it till they brought all my stuff back in bags, everything, and they smelled like snakes. In bags, like plastic bags that you have from the stores, like Ross and like whatever store you go to that has plastic bags, and they just had them all balled up, but it was really looked like it had been a bed of snakes, smelled like snakes. And these are python spirit snakes, and they really are snakes. I've seen them in actual. They'll show themselves to you. When she brought this one in that came after me. She brought him in, holding like she was holding her little child. And it probably was hers. And he was like this, because he was scared. But he did exactly what she said. This is right after I had my hip replacement. And I'm not telling what happened last night. I'm telling you what I know now, what I want to tell you now. And what happened, she had him to come in and open up my sutures for my hip replacement. And it wasn't like you could see it on the outside so much, but it was like they will open up from the inside. He went inside and cut it right down the, area where the sutures were. And that was like 4 months after I had my surgery, so I went back into a situation where I couldn't walk. And I had to get in my wheelchair. I had to get a wheelchair, and so I got a wheelchair, and I ended up being in a wheelchair for a couple of years, and I just got rid of my wheelchair before I came here. And that was in November. That was the last time I went. I said, I can't stay in that wheelchair or I'll never walk. And so I didn't bring it with me. I had a hard time, I just used my Canadian crutches is what they are. Ones that wrap around your arm, And that's all I use right now, but still I have a problem. And they said, well, let me give you this little a quadro thing, one with 4 legs, and maybe it'd be better for you to have that. But, I'm kind of vain. I'm a vain person, really. I'm not lying. And I didn't want to use it, really, but I tried. But I'm in a house that's got stairs. They don't have a first floor. They only have a second floor and the basement. come in on the first floor, but it's only just the landing. I asked for a first floor place, and they gave me something on the second floor that they call the first floor. Good grief. So I was too tired to turn around and say no, and I didn't want to sleep in my car, So I just went ahead and took it, and that's where I'm at now. But that was a pain in the butt, really. I was so tired, it took me 2 weeks to get over that. All that lifting and taking stuff upstairs. Some people helped me here a little bit. But it was like, whew, Lord. So here I am. But it's a nice place, Nice house. And so, I just deal with it. But, Satan always comes. Everywhere you go, if you're belonging to God, you're going to always find Satan. He's going to always find you, really. And he's going to try to make your life a living hell with lies and deceit and all kinds of things, because that's what Satan does. He's a liar from the beginning, and he's just, comes in to kill, steal, and destroy, and that's what he does. But only problem, he didn't know that he wasn't going to be able to destroy me. He thought I'd go running or something, but that ain't my way. I'm a fighter. So I said, you came up against the wrong person, because I got somebody with me, and that's Jesus. And so you can't win. He lied on me with everybody and everything he could. But, it won't work. So, anyway, I kind of enjoy my room because I have my own bathroom. They don't have their bathroom. I have the master bedroom. It's pretty large. I think it's about 20 by 20. It's kind of big. King size bed and all that. And what they call this, it's kind of like the new style Roman house, I guess you could say. It's what they call a pad split. They have them now in larger cities. But I'm getting ready to move out of here now. But anyway, not because they're running me out, because I don't want to be here. And also I got other things to do, and I have things to do that it's going to be hard to do it here. And especially with the pastor I have, because the pastor that I have, he's thinking two different ways, and I can't do that. So he's not in alignment with what I, see for myself. And if I went along with his way, well, then I would not be going to heaven. So, the thing is, and I might not should have said that, but it's true. So I am not telling you his name, but anyway. So anyway, I don't know what it is, but men, I don't know, they always seem to zone in. And I don't know why, because I am not young. And I might look young, but I'm not young. And all of them are younger than I am. Jesus. I've always had that situation where, men were always younger, except for maybe the first one and the second one. They were only off maybe 1 month older, or 1 month older. One was 2 months older, yeah. But other than that, most of them were like 7 or more, younger, 7 years or more. So I always had that problem because I always looked 20 years younger. I don't look 20 years younger right now because I've been through hell and back 7 times at least. That's for sure. At the hands of evil, unscrupulous, so-called Christians. And we ain't even talking about the people that are not Christians. We're just talking about the Christians. I've never seen Christians like I saw when I went to California. Just evil, doing witchcraft and sorcery and all that, trying to kill people and stuff. I mean, trying to kill people. They tried to kill me. The other night, I woke up early in the morning. I guess it was about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. Usually I wake up around 3 o'clock. Sometimes I pray and sometimes I read a Bible, sometimes whatever, talk to God, just, on a regular basis, back and forth, telling him what I wanted to tell him and see what he says about whatever. But the thing is that what I want to say, I woke up and I was like in a black bag, a big black bag that just covered me, like almost like a cat coffin, but it was a bag. It was made out of something like a tarp, and it looked like I was sewed up in it. And I was saying, how do I get out of this? You know, like I couldn't get out. I was trying to get out, and then something said reach up, and I reached up, and it was like I pulled it down, and the bag, it was really under my covers. And then I had one bag that's folded up on the side of me. I guess that was the one they want to use next. I don't know. But anyway, that was the most freakiest thing I ever seen. That's not the freakiest thing, but that was really, you know, really something else. So anyway, boy. So I got up and it was just my covers. But it wasn't really just my covers. It wasn't really just my covers. It was someone that was bringing an attack on me to try to make me fearful or something. And so I just kept thinking about that, you know. And I was online, you know, just seeing what people were saying, you know. Sometimes I'm just inquisitive, you know. I like to observe people and what they do, because I've seen so much. But anyway, and then I ran across one of the guys that I usually listen to. And he was saying, well, you don't read your Bible enough, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, and blah, blah. You know, and I'm looking at it, I say, okay, enough of that. Click. And then one time I was listening to a girl, and she was talking about her what do you call them? They really are demons that she's listening to, you know, and she's supposed to be a prophet. I had two of them like that. I said, no, click, click, click. You know, I'm just trying to find the real deal, you know. And then I finally told somebody, I said, look, I had this dream, and I just really, really, really am, you know, outdone with what I, you know, had to go through there. And it was to make me afraid, I guess. You know, I'm not a fearful person. I'm not a scary person. I'm a fighter. You don't want me fighting with you. You really don't. And God is with me. And I don't really have to fight my own battles, but I'm just telling you, because of the powers that I have, you really don't want to fight with me. That's the truth. And so, and that's, it's not a threat. It's just a, you know, a real thing. So if I get angry and you're trying to fight me, you might be in trouble. But anyway, the point is that, and I'm not a witch. Go figure. So the thing is that I just, I'm appalled at how people act, you know, and I don't want to get angry. So I try to maintain a, you know, just a moderate, you know, mild manner. And my pastor told me I was not boastful enough. I thought it was funny. You know, I looked at him, I said, you don't really know me, and you come telling me I'm not bold enough. How you going to say something like that and you don't even know me? So, you know, he's supposed to be my, you know, person that is supposed to be your mentor. That's how I got here. I said, how are you going to be doing that? I thought, and he's talking to me like he knows so much about me and all that kind of stuff. I said, well, who in the world told you who I was? How did you find me? And I'm wondering now, you know, something ain't right. And then some of the things he said, I said, something ain't right, you know. And then I said, you must have been talking to my enemies. That's the only thing I could figure. And so he was assuming that I had nothing, I knew nothing, and I was wimpy or whatever. And I'm just looking at him. You know, why? Where is he getting all this kind of unscrupulous information? So I decided after a while, since I knew that I wanted to go to where God has for me to go, And I'm tired of misinformation and everything, so I decided to put my little packet together. And then when he saw all what I had come through and what I was, and all the accomplishments I had, then he changed his tune. But it was too late, because, if you didn't trust me before, how in the world, am I going to trust you now? Because I don't, I'm a very, what is it? When I'm your friend, I'm your friend. But when you show me that you're not my friend and you're going to, try to destroy me, well then, that's when, it's off. But I thought he was just, I thought he was righteous. In every way, But, just because people say they're your mentor, they're supposed to mentor you or whatever, doesn't mean that they're righteous all the way. They always have, some of them have just cracks, And I know that now. But that's neither here nor there, because it's already... so maybe I shouldn't put this online, but, I just feel like I need to. That y'all beware, of people that say they're mentoring you, because they have ulterior motives sometimes. I'm not going to say what those motives are. I know, but I'm not going to tell you. So you can guess. So now to the next topic, because that's enough of that. I just felt I need to know. I need to tell you, because you need to know to beware. Just beware. And, you have to be able to read between the lines of what people are really after, So, I don't know. And he's a married man, too, by the way. I didn't even know he was married before I got here. I said, wow, this is ridiculous. But anyway, on to the next topic. I didn't come here because I thought he wasn't married. I came here because I thought he was truthful and on par, and he was really going to mentor me. So, all the way here, I've been here, 4 months? And nothing's happened. Now, I'm saying that because nothing has happened up to this point, but I think it has, because now God is telling me that he's getting ready to bless me, bless my socks off, So now is the time for my blessing, and I'm finding all these discrepancies about the mentor, and I say, wow, how could that be? So anyway, that's the story of that. So I'm just waiting now for God to just, bless me. Because I've had so many losses in my life, and I've had so many things that were unfair. If I just even had the money that I've lost because of other people, and other people trying to destroy me, taking my properties and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I would be one rich woman, right, just with that. But that was something in the Bible about, God blesses those that, you can't just be sitting on the sidewalk smoking weed and expect for God to bless you with billions. You have to be almost like a workaholic, But anyway, when I was very young, I had homes. My first husband and I, he wasn't a very good husband, but we did buy a house. I was 18 years old, and he was we were about the same age, I think, because I think it was one month difference, but I think they still had to have his parents sign for him to get married. So we got married at 18, and then we bought property. And when we bought the property, we built a house on it. It was a house that we went and looked at, and the schematics and all that, the blueprints, and had that house built, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, washroom, and large kitchen, and I chose all my colors and all that, everything I chose. And we moved in at 19, and we stayed in that house maybe about 4 years together, I guess, 4 to 5 years. And all the women wanted to, marry him because they felt that they could get him. Found hair in my bed and all that, red hair and all that. But anyway, all new furniture, new cabinator, refrigerator, double, eye level oven and all that crap, But anyway, it was nice. It was really nice. Furniture was nice. Everything was nice. But the problem is that he was a whoremonger. Don't marry a whoremonger. Don't marry a narcissist either. That's another problem. And he was both. So I got beat a lot. So I was so happy to get out of that. And the woman that he married, she would call in the house, and I would say, she said, "May I speak to George?" I said, "Of course." Yeah. She helped me out of it, and she doesn't even know. I was praising God over that one because I wanted him gone. Because I was starting to have bad ideas. Jesus. And I had 2 kids. I waited till after, at the end of our marriage, I got 2 kids, right? Because he made it so. But he was out, sleeping with other women the whole other time, So the thing is that here it is, the end of the marriage. And then he doesn't want to pay child support. And then he stopped working so that he wouldn't have to pay much. But George gave him $200. But $200 for 2 children? So I said, this is not happening. And he did it on purpose. And then we had 2 cars, 3 cars. And he took them all and traded them in and got him, what did he buy? We had an Eldorado, a little Bug that I used to go to school in, and also a flat, square back Volkswagen too. And the square back Volkswagen I had an accident in because somebody pulled in front of me going to a chicken stand, a big Mexican family. He had no insurance. And so I got nothing on that. And then I had the little gray Bug. I think it was gray, yeah. And it had a sunroof, and I was going to college, And so, anyway, I got a divorce around that time. And I said, I had to be on welfare. For a short period of time. It wasn't a year. It was about maybe 6 months or something like that. But I finally found a job working for the welfare department as a, clerk. Not a clerk, but what do you call them? It's been so long, It's just been a long time. I was a person that went out and evaluated people and did home visits and brought them in and, assigned their food stamps and their checks, and all that. I did that for about 10 years until I got, see what happened then. I did that for about 10 years, but I ended up getting married in 2 years again. This guy was a very nice guy, but I couldn't appreciate him because I'd been through too much hell. So, make sure that when you get married, you are, over whatever happened in the past, because then it won't allow the new marriage to be working correctly, And don't marry anybody that God didn't say marry. If you're a woman and the man says, God said you're my wife and everything, just go to God and ask him, is this true? And if God says no, well, leave him alone. If God says yes, well then, you can go ahead and marry him. But don't marry anyone that God did not tell you to marry. noticing at my door. And maybe they need to notice too. Anyway. Anyway, so, wow. I married him, and he wasn't even in the same, he was a Christian, but he was, what do you call it? He was with the Catholic people. I don't know if you call them Christians. He was Catholic. But he was going to be a Jesuit priest. He would have been up there with the demon. But anyway, I guess I don't even know if he's dead or alive now. They try to say he's not dead. I mean, he's not alive. That's what they said. He was supposed to be. He went to I think it was Emory University, working on his PhD. So when we got here, we came here, and he was he's an economics specialist. He got his PhD in economics, but he was working before with his master's as an instructor at one of the universities. I think right outside of Marietta, and that's where I thought I was going, but I don't know why I didn't get a place there. I should have, because this is not the environment I needed. You know, the people are different in different areas of a city, you know, and I didn't need this kind, you know, and this is too low grade for me, I think. It's too low grade. And my church is too low grade, and I don't know. I felt so out of place, you know, just out of place the whole time I've been here. And so that's why I'm moving. I ain't telling you where I'm going to, but you'll find out sooner or later, but I'm not going to tell you where. I don't want my enemies following me again from California to Texas, and then where I am now. They already found me here, but they don't know, well, I guess they know where I live, but every time they try to kill me, God just kind of, you know, sidestep me, whatever. So they can't kill me, and they're frustrated. They can't figure out why they can't kill me. People back where I came from in my church was trying to kill me. And then they were paying people to kill me, you know. And I said, why? You know, because they thought I was, you know, more than them, and they got to get rid of me, I guess. I don't know. But I paid my dues, you know. I'm the one that was sitting in those chairs and getting my master's and my PhD and all that. I'm the one that would sit there. They weren't there with me. They were out there having fun in the gangs and smoking weed and sexing. So, you know, only thing, I had a problem too. I danced. So I like to go out and dance. I go to school, and after I finished that class at night, because I was working in the daytime, working as a caseworker, that's what I was. And so I just went out to dance, and I danced until the night was over. Then I went and got my kids and went home and went to sleep and got up and got them ready and took them to daycare and all that. And Jesus, that went on for years. So it only took me 1 year to get out of grad school, though, you know, with the master's, though. But the PhD came much later because that was for ministry. But now they gave me, because of my, you know, work that I've done in the past, and also what I've accomplished, they gave me they gave me the title of Ambassador Dr. Ikonah Abukar. And so I know that wasn't up but God, because I didn't even ask them to call me. Somebody found me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page that is astronomical, really. I have never seen one as good as mine, but, you know, I guess there's some. I don't know where they are, though. But if you want to look at it, it's under facebook.com/Thompson Abukar. And also you can find me on YouTube on Thompson Abukar, and also on Ikonah, Ikonah, and also Ikona, and also another one with, you have to spell this one out, because it's Israel, because God changed my name to Israel. And so I had initially asked him to let me do a, you know, feminine form of it. And so I use Yisraela, Yisraela, but I don't want to use that. I decided not to. I asked them again if I could just put Israela, just with the A-H on the end. So that's what I probably do, you know. So anyway, because I got too many different ways. I have even Thompson Ikonah Abakar in there. Ikonah Thompson and then Ikonah Abakar. So you can find me all those different ways on YouTube. And on Facebook, just Thompson Abakar. But, you know, everybody and their uncles on my Facebook. I have so many people, I'm not going to stop and count them because that's not the way God would have me to do. But the thing is that they're all over. And I've had this page, I don't even know when I started it. It must have been when I was sick, I guess. Might have been in probably, shoot. I don't even know. I've had it for 10 years at least, about 10 years. But I mean, everybody wants on that page, and everybody's still asking to get on, and I haven't had time. Every now and then I stop and add people to it, but it's just getting astronomical. I started out with mostly people that were, not military, people that were, I was acting at the time when I started. And I had, people like Will Smith and all them and Oprah and all them. But I said something that I asked everybody to pray for Oprah. And then they fled. They just fled the ones that were her friends, I guess. Like I thought I said, did I say something wrong? And as you can see, she needed it. But anyway, and then also I was with her office too. And they got off there too. But that didn't stop nothing. And I had mostly people that were in the not military, why do I keep saying that? People that were in the ministry. I had a lot of people that were ministry types at that. And so I have ministry still on there, but they just now coming back again, in the last couple of years. But, they're from all over, every country in the whole world, really. And so a lot of people know of me. And also, I guess, really because when I worked for the government for about almost 20 years, and that was my last job, really. And I went overseas and all that stuff. But the job that I had, it was working as I had 3 different kinds, but the first one, the one that I, first had, it was working as a, I gotta stop and think what the name was, because it's been such a while. I started in 1980, and I was teaching ESL for the Defense Language Institute at Lackland Air Force Base. And as a result of that, I met kings and generals and all kinds of, officers. The only ones that I had that weren't officers or anything like that were people from not the Philippines, from the, what is the name of that place? It's an island. It's where the people are half black and half white. I didn't tell you nothing. Okay, it's in the Gulf. Start with a P. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, and also there were people from Saudi Arabia, I think it was. Saudi Arabia that were also, lower level ranking. But most of the other people that I dealt with were all, upper crust type people, officers and generals and colonels and all that from all over, And so I guess they remember my name, And so I have them on there, and they're probably incognito. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't remember their names, but they remember mine. But I was kind of like, I guess it was, they just liked me, what can I say? So anyway, yeah, I did that. And then I went overseas, of course, and I worked with the Japanese for 4.5 years teaching ESL, but also I did a career resource coordinator job. I changed over from the Air Force to the Navy and worked as a career resource coordinator. And something else. What is the other thing? I forget. Oh, yeah. When I was over there, I taught with the University of Maryland, teaching sociology. And then with Texas Tech or Texas something. It was a lower level. It was a college, really. Maryland is a university, but the other one was a college, and that's what I did for my spare time, because what else am I going to do? And so I taught business typing, so did that, and I just had a lot of fun over there, though, really. That was before I got resaved. I went out, to the club. We danced and partied and, drank and whatever, like most people do at that age. But I was like older than them, but I didn't look it. I looked like I was 20. I was like around 40 when I went over there. But I looked like I was about 20. But I was acting as if I were 20 because I was very agile and very energetic and everything. And they were looking at me like, huh? How could she be so energetic? I had energy like you wouldn't believe. And I didn't lose my energy until I walked in the wrong church. So remember what I said. If you see elements of witchcraft and sorcery and all that kind of stuff, people shooting you with fiery dots and stuff, run. That's what I'm doing now, running. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not running. I'm just, biding my time so that I can get what I came to get, and then I'm out of here. But anyway, so there are some good churches, but you're going to have to look for them and have God to help you to find out which one he wants you in. Now, God, true enough, sent me to that one that I went to, because I asked when I got back from Japan, I said, Lord, I'm bored. Send me to where you want me to say, where you need me the most. What did I say that for? I got to be more explicit this time, So he sent me to California. And I didn't know which church he wanted me to go to or nothing, so I just went to one and sat there for a while. And then he sent me to another one, and I was there at Bishop McClendon's church, and he said, he wanted me to stay there. So I stayed there for about 3.5 years. And he has the same anointing that I have. And so I learned a lot from him. And then at the end of that, he sent me to the church that he was actually sending me to. That was about 4 years later, I guess. And boy. I walked into the place, and the pastor said, God told me to marry you. I didn't even know him. I mean, do I know you? I don't know you. Who are you? So anyway, when that happened, the people started trying to destroy me. They started sending fire dots and all kinds of stuff at me, trying to hurt me, trying to put me in the hospital. Every year I was going in the hospital, except 1 year that I didn't go in the hospital. And I don't know what happened then, but 1 year I didn't go in the hospital, and I said, whoa. But 1 year I went in 6 times. And then when I got back, they said, we thought you went back to Texas. Really now? So, that's what happened to me. And, I'm here. I'm just in the hospital, but they already knew that. They wouldn't even come visit me in the hospital, wouldn't send me a card or nothing. But anyway, and the one that was supposed to be coming to see me, supposed to be over my group. She's talking about, I'm out here, I can't even find the place. Liar from pit of hell. Yeah, I said, well, all you got to do is come down the street, you're right there, but she didn't want to come. So she didn't come. And, boy, then we had a group, where we had to meet, on Zoom and all that. And, boy, Jesus. I'm sitting up there in this place, and people are shooting me with all kinds of things, I remember when I first went to the church, and he let out what he was saying. I had bumps exploding in my head. I had arrows stabbing with, like arrows, like from a bow and arrow coming at my head. Found out it was his wife. It's sitting in the choir in the corner. And he was the one that was sending bombs and exploding them in my head. They were both witches and warlocks. So, that church was full of witches and warlocks. I said, Bishop, if you don't get rid of this stuff now, when you go to the larger church, you're going to have a larger problem. And guess what? He did. And they still continue to try to kill me. Even now, they try to kill me. But God is getting ready to put a stop to it now. And what's going to happen, most of them are going to die. Some of them are going to be very ill. And some of them may repent and come back to Christ, or if they ever been there. Because what I can see, from the people I know of that are, coming against me, they never were, So, I don't know. I guess they're going to just die, I guess, unless they give their life to Christ. So, you pay a very heavy price for coming against God's anointed, and people still don't understand it. I just know what God says. I can't say I understand. I can say, I just know what God said about it, So the thing is that I just have to keep the faith that that's what God will do. Whatever he said he would do, he will do. And, people better beware of putting their hands on God's anointed. You can't do that. I don't care how much you don't like somebody. That don't mean you put your hands on them. So. And the reason why I need to get out of this house is because, I used to be cursing like a sailor. I'm not kidding. And it took me a long time to get over that. But when people make me mad here, I notice that some of those words come back, because I'm from Texas. We have very choice words for very choice situations. And I said, I can't be cursing. I can't be going back to that stuff. So I need to get away from evil people. I really do. I need to get away from them. Way away. Because if you're around evil all the time, it'll affect you. And so, and I really don't have the energy to be moving all this stuff down to my car. And I really need a truck, but I can't afford to do it right now anyway. But if I got it in here, I guess I can get it out. I just have to pack real tight, because all this stuff came with me except for the food. Well, some food came with me. And I might have a few more dresses or something, but I gotta move. I gotta move. And I know where I'm going, and I think I'm making the right decision. And God told me I could move, but not right now. I gotta wait till, his substance comes. Because I don't think I want to live in a past bit anymore. I want to buy a house, go ahead and buy a house, or just, if I get a house, I guess I'll rent it out, I guess. I mean, I have the money still. But, because I'm supposed to be getting some homes and stuff. So, I just wait. Wait until then. And then I'm out of here. I am out of here. And I only found one person on the internet that really understood everything that I'm going through, and I was really surprised. A lot of people speaking prophetic visions and prophetic this and that, but maybe two people. And I just, I had a lot of faithful friends that I got to help when I do get some money, that stayed with me, even through when I was going through the operation on my hip, and I came through that with like a charm, and the only problem is the demons came in. The Syrians evidently called my church, and they found this woman that's a witch, and so they connected together to try to bring me down. So that's what the deal is. And so it didn't work, of course. So Good thing I belong to God. But they made my life a living hell. All the things that I had bought, getting ready to go and preach and everything in, they tore them up, my shoes and my suits. And the only thing I had left was some purses, but I didn't want them anyway. And just stuff, it's just stuff. So you can't put a lot of, you can't just let that bother you.
Did you ever hear about this NASA doctor that released a
You can't, when people do stuff like that for spite, tap your clothes and stuff like that, that means they're jealous. They're just jealous, And whatever God gave you then, he'll give it to you again. And that's been said too, that he will, restore me. And I've always been a hard worker. I've always been the best at what I do, because God made me like that. And so I don't doubt him that he will bring me right back to where I was and above. And I know he will, because I'm not the same person. I might look a little sad right now because I've been through so much, I've been through so much. I just been through too much, really, for me. For me, I say too much, but it was just a bit much, really. And what really surprised me is my family, though. I expected them to be more understanding, but they weren't. They were bringing me home when I got sick to die. I said, I'm getting away from y'all. They were trying to see what my money was that I would get after death. I wouldn't have got anything out there. I don't care whether I had money or not. They were trying to see exactly how much money would be left and everything. And that's my kids. What are y'all doing this for? And so, I don't know. They thought I should add more money to it. I said, this ain't for y'all. What's wrong with you? So people do things for, just different reasons. And, all the time when I had, and working for the government and working for the state of Texas and all that, I always, took care of my brothers and sisters, even from age 14. My mother died when I was 14. I had 8 brothers and sisters that I had to take care of. I had to feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, except when my father had maids a couple of times. But because the maids wanted to marry him, he got rid of them. I said, what about us? I got to go to school just like everybody else. And he got me up at 11:30 washing dishes that they didn't wash, that they put in the oven and in the cabinets and stuff, dirty dishes. That went on for 4 years. And then I got from the frying pan into the fire with my first husband. So, you got to be careful about who you marry. I didn't know all this stuff. I didn't have nobody. If my mother had been living, of course, she would have told me, no. But my father, he was just trying to get rid of another mouth to feed. But then when I left, they found some difficulties, because they had to do it. He had me doing everything, but he divided the labor when I left. I was just a workaholic, That's not the right word to use, is it? I was like, I felt like Cinderella. Just like Cinderella, okay? And then my sister, she got sick with cancer. And I prayed for her, and they act like I ain't done nothing. I had a brother that died from cancer, but he was dying from stomach cancer, and I went up and prayed for him. Next day, he was up and eating. They had already pronounced him dead. When I prayed for him, came back to life and was up eating the next morning. They called me and said, he's up eating. But then and his son was there when I was praying for him, so they knew what happened. But they didn't, they try to play like you ain't did nothing. No, God did through me. I raised 5 people from the dead already. And most people I pray for that are sick come back to life, whether they're dead or not, almost dead, whatever. And I had, one other that was dead. There's a white woman in the bed next to me. They put her in the bed next to me. She was all tangled up because she must have been in a place where there's so much witchcraft. They probably didn't like her, you know, and so she was all bent up and everything. I've seen two people like that. One was a black woman that was across the room from me, and she was just pointing up like this. That was her whole look right there. She was frozen. And I had to pray for her. I prayed for her, and then finally she was able to communicate with her eyes, you know, and whatever. She couldn't talk. But she went in there just for something in her throat, like a tonsillitis or something. But she was in a wheelchair, and they dropped her on her knees and messed up her knees, and they didn't give her any pain medicine. They just left her like that, and so I guess she went a little cuckoo or something. I don't know. But they wouldn't give her nothing for pain. Just let her suffer. People are so evil, you know. These are nurses now. So anyway, then this white woman, you know, she had been living in a building by herself, you know, and I guess they did so much witchcraft on her that she was all bent up and everything. And then they were all proud, and it's 4:40 something a.m. and you know, she's dead and all that, you know. And I said, what? I started praying. She came back to life. And then they took the curtain, you know, where I was sleeping in the bed, and they did like this, looked at me, and I just looked at her. And, you know, I pronounced it. They were so happy, you know, all just, you know, they came all to see, but then they were, you know, just wrong as two left shoes. They weren't there to try to make sure that she was living. She was trying to make sure she was dead. I don't know what's wrong with people. I just don't know. I don't understand it. I swear I don't. They don't care nothing about other people's lives. They just want to destroy. So anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so it's too much. I'm really glad that God is getting ready to come back. Jesus, rather. I'm so glad he's getting ready to come back because, I mean, we need him to come back because these people are going really ape. They're going ape. It's becoming the planet of the apes. Really. That's what's happening. And, you know, people are supposed to be trying to help each other. Instead, they're trying to destroy. Even in the church, you know, and like I was telling you about the prophets and stuff, some of them just as off as they want to be, and I'm just looking at them. They think I'm there for them to pray for me. I don't need them to pray for me. I know how to pray for myself. I've been praying for myself a long time. I don't need nobody to pray for me. Jesus. If I ask you, if I ask you to pray for me, it's because I think that you really might have something. But I find that most people don't have nothing. They just got a prayer but with no power behind it. That's why I pray for myself. Because I know where my power comes from. So I ain't trying to say that to be proudful. I just know, just telling you the truth. You know, it's just telling you the truth. You know, you can't, you know, if you don't have anointing, a strong anointing on you, you know, what does it profit? What does it profit you? You know, does it profit you? What? I want to know what. You can try to fake it until you make it, but I don't believe in faking it until you make it. That don't make no sense. So anyway, oh boy. So you know a little bit more about me. I wanted you to know a lot more, but you know, I'm not ready. I'm not up to it. I waited so late before I even started, but I didn't want to wait till it was dark outside because I can't do a good, you know, show with that because there's not enough light in here. I don't know why it's not so light, but I know when the sun is out over there, well, then it's good, but that's in the morning. That's not the same as where I was before. It was just the opposite. The sun was out where I was sitting at a window, like right there. But here, the only time it's out is in the morning, and I'm not a morning person. I'm more nocturnal, you know, so I'll stay up until 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning sometimes. Usually I go to bed around 2. And then I wake up at 3. And then, I talk to God sometimes and all that. But I read about whatever I feel that he wants me to do. Sometimes he wants me to, look at something, whatever. So I do that, and then I go back to sleep. And then I wake up again around 9:30, 10. I have a bad habit of where I sleep, though. But, it's not a good idea. But, that's what it is. It is what it is, And so that's the way it is. So anyway, I'm here trying to, make the best of a bad situation. What can I say? And I will be moving out soon, hopefully in my own home. They're supposed to give me a couple of houses, so that's going to be good. And these are not people that are cheap, they come to my billionaires, So it ain't nothing but a nickel in a bucket, for them. So it's an honor, really. It's really an honor that they even found me. I don't know how they found me. I don't know. I'm really clueless. And I'm not saying these are preachers or nothing like that. They're just people that God is using to bless me. Because he knows I've been through hell and high water, and I worked hard. I had all kinds of houses and stuff, and people were jealous of me, and they worked to get them out of my hand too. So I thought that was really unusual. They don't want to work, but they don't want you to have nothing. So anyway, this time they won't take it out of my hand because God is giving it to me. God is giving it to me himself. And no, I don't have to pay a dime. Because I've done my work. God already, he's repaying me and reimbursing me for what I lost. Multiplied. So I don't put a cap on that. But some people don't want me to be blessed. But they can't stop it. Because this is a God thing. And I got to help, the kingdom. That's what I'm here for, to help the kingdom. So those that are in the kingdom, I will help them. So we can bring in the lost, because it's about now bringing in the lost, the ones that haven't had the opportunity to know God. And I got to go to Africa, and Africa is 25,000, I don't even know if it's more now, but just to go where I got to go, Soweto. And I was supposed to go there 20 years ago or something. And I already had my 501(c) and all that checks and everything, and thought I was going to be going right away. And here it is, 27 years later. Yeah. So anyway, I still go over there and do what I got to do. The people are already grown up now, and I don't know if they ever got their education now, because that was the whole point, to help educate those whose parents died of AIDS, And I'm wondering where they are now and how they fared out. So I'm going to try to go and do a fact-finding situation and see what I can do to help them. So see if I can find them, and see if their children ended up in foster care or if they died or what. I've got to find out. But I ain't leaving no money behind with nobody. I'm just going to buy what I'm going to buy. Or if I'm going to build a building or whatever. I'll probably build a building for other foster children and with, maybe using the names of those that, in honor of those that died from AIDS or whose parents died of AIDS. Maybe I could do that. And have a school, school, dormitory, new beds, and, things that are necessary for life, comfort. So I'll probably do that. So that'd be in Soweto. So if anybody want to, help with that, they can. I'll put something up, about around time when I get ready to go, so you can, possibly, help in that, situation. And I'll take pictures and let y'all know what's going on over there. And maybe, just maybe, you'll help out with the venture. And the more money I can get, the more I can do. So Yeah. I was gonna just buy rice and beans, but how, that's very limited. It don't last that long. There's too many of them like that. So I don't know what happened to the children, but I guess I could try to find out some of them. Maybe I'll give them some donations or something to help them go further, maybe with them. And I was really supposed to help get the education, but let's see, they should be really in their late 20s or 30s, I guess by now. Just wasn't time for me to go, it wasn't time for me to go over there, that's all. So, and I had to have backing. So now the backing is coming, and now I got to figure out how to alter my 501c3 so to, accommodate more people and do more things with it, I have to make it more vast. It's not limited, it's even with the church, but I have to figure out a way to, adjust some of the language there. I've been thinking about that for a long time. It's time for me to re-up too. This is the time of the year I hate doing this, but I gotta do it, Plus I gotta do my income tax, do the upgrade of the paperwork, and everything is coming down to crescendo. So maybe tomorrow I can finish those, I hope. I'm behind on my income tax because not that I didn't do them. I did it because I was living in one of those luxury buildings. You had to have that every year around, February, I think it was. But anyway, for some reason, because I was sick, I didn't send them in. I just did them, and then they just came in and got the paperwork that I had. And so I didn't have it finished already, so now I got to do them again. And I asked them if they would send me a copy of what I gave them, but of course that would be too much like right. And these same people that were stealing my money and stealing everything, all my codes and stuff on my computer and tearing up my computers. I had 4 computers. I had to replace 4 computers when I was living there, and 4 or 5 of my printers. And I was always over at Best Buy, always having them come by or something because of something they broke. And they broke the screen on my computer. I guess I could replace the screen. It looked just brand new, but I think I'll buy one when I get to where I'm going. But right now I can use it. It's just that they just cracked the edge of my computer, Got a little strip going down on the side. So I'm just going to buy another one. This is all-in-one pavilion. I guess they figured I should have had a laptop. I don't see that well. I have to have something with a big screen, because I write books too. And so I cannot be, using no small screen like no laptop. I have a little, what do you call it, a pad, one of those, what do you call it? It's, what do you call that? Eesh, Jesus. It's, one of those, a notepad. No, not a notepad. It's just a, Jesus, it's just, one that's about this size, with a little stand and all that. But that's supposed to be for my work when I go out to preach. So whenever I go to preach, well, then I need to have that. So I don't use it on a regular basis. And so I'll be putting up information sooner or later on how you can contact me, to come to preach for you. I guess I'll put it on Facebook and on YouTube, I guess. Because I did have websites, but the thing is I don't have them anymore. They're probably in La La Land somewhere, but I don't have them anymore. I had it when I had my book published, Jesus is coming soon, are you rapture ready? And Jesus is coming soon, are you walking in wisdom? You can always get those at Amazon and at Barnes and Nobles, and also Ex Libris. That's the book company. So you can get them there. But my books are like $20 a book. So I was trying to find another outlet to get them down to about 10, but I haven't done that yet. I have to have, it takes money to do everything, you know, and so I have to, you know, figure out another way to get it down. Got to go to a company that's all encompassed, you know, where I get all benefits out of it, all my what do you call them, the I start with an R, I can't remember. But anyway, you know, I've had a lot of stuff happen to me, so I just, excuse me for forgetting stuff. But royalties, you know, I have royalties, but my royalties are so low, they're stealing everything from me. There's a company out of Philippines, go figure. But they also are in New York. They have a base in New York and someplace else, but they're just stealing. And so I sell the books, but then I get nothing but, you know, very little back, you know. I have to pay for, you know, the book for like $11 or $12, well, then I only get $8 back. And that's not good. I should be selling them for about $10, $11, you know, and then, you know, then able to keep the other, you know, the royalty, you know, whatever, or something. I don't know. I'd probably sell more, but if it's less. I don't think it should ever be over $12, $10. But my books are worth it though. But I just I have to figure another way that's going to be where more people can get their hands on them, and I have to start advertising more. You know, they have a lot of books, you know, that people are making a lot of money off of, but people don't like buying, you know, Christian books. You know, they think that they got the Bible and that's all, but even though they don't read it. They don't read it, but they just, I don't know, people something else. The older I get, the more I realize that I just want to get away from people. No, I'm just kidding. I would like to, I don't think I want to live in the city. I need some place that's placid, you know, very quiet, and where I can think, and so I can get back in my groove, you know, of writing and everything, because since I've been around a lot of huckers and puck, you know, all this mess, it's hard to, you know, be stable and do the things that you would normally do, because it's too much mess going on. And I'm not that type of person, and I don't want to be around people that's causing mess, you know. But because I'm not well right now, and I was really sick, I almost had pneumonia. I'm quite sure I had pneumonia, but, you know, I'm saying that that's why I'm having congestion. But, you know, I just, I'm at the end of it, though. But I would have been in the hospital if I had waited another week before I went to the doctor. I'd probably been in pneumonia. They would have taken me out in an ambulance or something, because they were throwing something through my door. It was some type of stuff that just flew into my door, you know, in the cracks. And it made me cough. I mean, I was coughing so hard that I had a pain right here. Just a pain right in one place, you know. And I said, boy, you know, people are really trying to kill you over things, you know. They're crazy. I want a way. I want greenery. I want, you know, this is nice with the trees and everything, but this is not all what I want. I want just a nice, you know, house with not no track house. You know, I want something where I can walk out in the grass and not walk into poop. I ain't getting no dog. And if I do, it's going to be a little bitty one, tiny, you know, one of those little teacups. Something like that. I don't want no big poops everywhere. And teach them how to use a catty litter. A kitty litter box or something. I don't know. I want something small, just to, you know, play with. And, you know, just be alarmed when I need to. So, that's all. That's my dream. Nice, fulfilled life. The man of my dreams, and vice versa. So, And I'll give you a little secret. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this. But I am just like Abraham's wife. But I just hope God don't wait till I'm 90 to have a child. Yes, I'm fertile. Okay. But I just hope God don't have me wait till I'm 90 before I have another child. I want to be able to, enjoy it. It's not going to be just one child, too. I know that. So it's probably 3. So I just hope that it's only one that's really the special child, the one that God really wants on this earth, because he's got something to do that's going to be very important, and I got to teach him correctly. And whoever I'm married to have to treat him correctly too. So, to teach him all that he needs to know about God and things that he has to do, and to promote his calling. So it's not just to have a child. I have enjoyment with it, but it's not just to have a child. It's for God. And I ain't saying that the Holy Spirit is hovering over me or nothing like that. No, this will be a real one, real birth. But anyway, that's not real birth. I wouldn't say. I'd say it would be an average birth. Not average, but so I'd be older. But I hope it's not too much older than I am now. I want to have, be able to enjoy the child. I don't want to be sick or nothing. I won't be sick anymore. I know. Because God already told me he's going to heal me of everything. And I will walk into heaven very well, okay? And I won't age, So you never know my age unless I tell you. And I tell people my age, that's what they use against you. They go, you're an old woman, or you're just an old granny, or you just this, or whatever. Because of the age, and I don't even talk like this normally because I got hoarseness. So, the thing is that people always judge you by negatives. They want to do that. They love to do that. And especially if you look better than them. Because, you walk into a church and you look around and say, what happened to them? It's because of their life that they live, It just shows on the face. Witchcraft shows on the face. All that shows on the face. And so, you can't fool nobody like me, for sure. And other people you can fool, but you can't fool me. So, anyway, that's that. I'm tired of talking. I try to talk to y'all again tomorrow because I have so many things to tell you. One thing I asked God for was wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And he's been very gracious to give that to me. So it's not like I'm just here blowing smoke. And, I'm not the type person that just go and give you a scripture unless it's something that's going to apply where you need it. Because what I'm telling you is still coming from scripture. So I don't have to back up nothing. If you don't think that it's right, where you go in the Bible and you show me where it's not. So I just speak what I learned over the years since age 6, 7, 8, really all the way up. I've been in the Bible, so where you been? It's in me already. So the thing is that I just want people to, know God and to accept Him as their Lord and Savior, because He did a lot for us. If it wasn't for Jesus, we would have no way to get to heaven. That's why God sent His Son to die on the cross for us, to be made a sacrifice for us. That's why He went to hell to get those keys. So we would not have to go there. But people want to. People are serving Satan every day. Illuminati and all of them. There's so many different organizations like that. Skulls and Bones and, oh my God, what else? Oh, I can't think of all of them, but that place I was trying to remember is Turkey. Right between, I'm just like, all of a sudden, boom, between Turkey and, Jesus, between Turkey and USSR. That's you'll see it. It's right in the middle of that little place. It looked like a piece of pie. It's right between the two countries, and it's kind of right in the middle of it, And it's called Khazaria. That's the place where these people that are in Israel trying to play like they're us came from. That is their country. The people there know what they did in order to get their land, so they don't even want them back. They know you ain't coming back here. That's what they say. You ain't coming back here. For whatever reason. Maybe they don't want no black blood. Jesus. That's the best blood you could have because we were the first ones here. Go figure. On earth. All over the earth. Not just one place. They try to say that we were Africans and all. No, we ain't Africans. I'm talking about what God put here all over the earth. All over the earth. I don't think Africans started until the albino. He had 3 sons. Japhet, which is white, and he was really albino. And then, so all whites are albinos, really. And then, what's the other one? Japhet, let me see. Ham, Africa. When he went to Africa, that's where that came from. And then Shem. We come from the line of Shem because we were Israelites. Okay, so that's the makeup of the world, That's the way it is. Okay, so that's where it is. That's the way it is. Because everything else was destroyed. And so our people, blacks in general, went all over. Even across the Bering Strait, down into South America, to our nemesis. What's his name? It's China and all the other places, really, just everywhere. And so, that's just the way it started. So, go figure. And Adam and Eve were not white. Good grief, y'all. So, the thing is that we got so much misinformation until we believe the mess, ourselves. A lot of them, that picture you got on your Bible that says it's Jesus ain't Jesus. That's a homosexual. That was the guy that used to paint those pictures in the dome. His nephew was a homosexual, and that is the picture that he used for Jesus, and that's who people are worshiping. He didn't look nothing like that. You better look at the criminal and see what they're showing you. That's what Jesus looked like. He was black. So, get a grip and study, do research. Stop listening to what everybody tell you. That's how we got buying them. Listening to that crazy man. He was always a crook. I don't know how Obama didn't see that, though. I guess he was just glad to be president or something, and he just accepted him. I bet they chose him for him, But Biden was just a crook. That was upper 10% that put him in there. I'm quite sure. And he's still working for him. Nothing but a puppet now, but I don't know. You better learn on what's going on around you and stop accepting everybody's, word for it, and know for yourself. The white man ain't did us no favor, so don't even expect it. Oh, I'm glad they said they were sorry or whatever at one meeting. But the thing is that where's our reparation? Where is it? I think that what's happening when God get through with the Israelites over there, not Israelites, the Jewish people over there that claim to be us, I guess that's when our reparation will probably come because we're going back to Israel. I'm going back to Jerusalem. That is my home. And that is probably yours too, and your people. You know, we have a little mixture with Indian and whatever, but we still got that lineage, you know, because that's where we came in from. So anyway, I don't know. Sometimes when you know a lot, you know, it just wears on you. So I'm gonna tell you, it's just wearing on me. Okay, so excuse me. I've been to hell and back. Yeah, I don't know how many people could say that. And Jesus wouldn't take. I don't think he took me. You know, you can say I want to take you and let you see what's going on there. I just read it out of a book from To Hell and Back by Catherine Baxter. Catherine K. Baxter. Baxter. You got to read that book. So you'll know where you're going if you decide not to accept Christ. And so you'll know what's there so you can tell other people that don't have a clue. It ain't no pretty picture. And you really need to know. So, you know, I would suggest that you learn. Start doing research. You know, the computer is a beautiful thing. It could be ugly at sometimes, but it's a beautiful thing if you know what to ask. If they ask the right questions, you're going to find the answers. And you're going to find out what's underground, too. I'm just giving you a clue. I'm giving you a clue. There's a lot of stuff underground you probably don't want to know about. And we just walking on top of it all the time. And they're saying, oh, boy. There's so many bases and everything, but not just our bases. You're talking about intergalactic or whatever you call it. Yeah. It's people that are being kidnapped and put in jars. You know that stuff like you see on movies? Where they had that fluid and all that? The same way that we did those... the intergalactical people that came here in the 40s, I think it was. And we put them in jars, you know, like in jars of fluid, and they were just preserved. They got people like that too. I mean, thousands and millions. So, you know, it's not, they're in labs underground. I'm not going to talk to you about that because you probably say, what? This woman got so much stuff. Yeah, I do. Because I took time. I didn't have nothing else to do. I laid in there sick for 5 years. Sure did. But I asked all the questions and found out all the information I want to. And all this craziness is going on in the United States and all this craziness going on in the world. I found it out all, and I got full up to here. You know, so, you know, yeah. I like, you know, doing research like that. Especially things I really want to know. I don't know everything, but I know these things. These things I know. So, you know, and it's not just because I stopped with one person, whatever. You got a lot of whistleblowers and everything else. Boy, do we. Good thing we do, but some of them they kill. I'm a whistleblower too, I know. But because of the Syrians, because people don't want people to know that who they really are. And y'all ain't even found, I mean, you know, all these, it's not just those demons that are here, there are others that are here too. But also there are some that's coming that's going to be worse. You know, so these you can kind of, I don't know, some people don't know how to deal with them, but, you know, you can. But I just kill them. I'm a slayer. So the thing is that if you don't kill them, well, they're going to overtake everything. And they're doing that in Florida right now. And they know about these things in California too, and especially in Malibu, because they killed a lot of them, so they know what they look like. You know, because they die, you see their bodies, because they can't cloak then, you know. So, and you know, the birds are just dying everywhere. They're messing up our ecology. So the birds and the squirrels, they're just eating up everything. And so if we don't do something, we're not going to have all what we have now. it's just going to dry up with, So there are a lot of people in Florida that are fighting them openly. They are searching them out. But, they cloak themselves, so it's kind of hard to find them unless somebody reports them, And they got people that are, from Syria that came in, and they're working at the desk of all the important offices of our land, like the police department, the FBI, and all this. They are diverting calls when you call in to report stuff so that you won't report it. And I'm probably one of the forerunners of knowing what's going on. And I preached it at one time, and I had a church called The Light, and I preached it, and it was like church from my members were all FBI. Basically, they were working for the FBI anyway, and at different levels, And I had people just coming in droves listening, but they can't say they didn't get the information. And so when I got sicker, I had to leave, and I had to leave that behind. But the seed was planted, and they can't say they don't know the truth. That's for sure. So, but now I find out that it's not just in California. I found out it was in Florida, and they're actively trying to seek them out and kill them, And also they're here in Georgia. It's like a very, very well-kept secret. And I don't know why they're trying to keep it secret, because it's going to cause a lot of problems if they don't let people know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, And that's not the only thing that's coming. It's going to be something even more devastating behind that. And a lot of things, they don't realize that a lot of the Syrians are not really human. And they treat them as if they are, but they don't even know. It's just like in the White House, you got people that, those, what do you call them? Oh boy, here we go again with the names. They're reptilians. They're working in the White House right next to, the president and all the people in the different, offices, and people that are running our government, government. They're running our government. And they've been in there for about 40 years. Jesus. Running our country. Now you tell me they're going to be doing something for the benefit of us? This is a long-range plan. They're learning us. It's a lot of stuff that they're learning from us. And at the top of the office, what is called government offices, top government offices, learning everything there and everywhere. And they're reptilians, like a lizard, and they're similar to the snakes, So that's why Trump was always saying, I gotta drain the swamp. I said, why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? But I had already been reading about it, but I didn't know that that's what he was really referring to at first. I had to get the revelation. And drain the swamp. That's why they don't like him, because the upper 10%, I'm quite sure, use them, And also the government was using them, but he got rid of all of them while he was there. For 4 years, they weren't there. But as soon as he left, they came back. So the thing is that just the way it is. What can you say? So much stuff going on that people don't even have a clue to. It's like everybody's eyes are closed shut. They don't want to know. They just want things to be normal and the way they used to be or whatever, but it ain't going to ever be that way again. It'll never be that way again. And this thing about CERN, that's another problem too, because the man died that actually, developed that. But the problem is still here. And that hole that they made into the earth that went to hell. They held, the prayers of the righteous are holding those demons back. But what happens when they get loose? And they are going to get loose. That's for sure. So that's something coming. We already got some loose, but and the people are, taking all kinds of drugs and stuff. Satan got them taking drugs and becoming, something that they're not supposed to be. And people don't see it coming. They just think they're having a good time and having a party. And they're just walking right into the devil's hands, So I guess I'm worried about stuff I shouldn't be worried about, but I am worried about it because it affects me. It affects my people. It affects my children. And those people at the churches that were doing all that witchcraft, they were coming against my children too. They tried to kill my child, my daughter in our house. She has a beautiful 3-story house, one of those you see in the papers with the black shutters and all that, and they put mold all over her house. Mold. I almost killed her. And I told her, you got to get out of there. You can't just sleep in there. And she wouldn't leave. So she lost teeth and everything. She lost, her health. She was tired and feeling like half dead. Now she don't talk to me, but I was trying to warn her and she wouldn't listen to me. I was trying to warn her. So, kids sometimes don't listen when they should. I mean, I'm not her enemy, golly. I was trying to tell her. And people were really trying to kill her, and plus the neighbor across the street. It was ridiculous what was happening, but it happened. And when I tried to tell him about it, the husband got upset too, because he's the one that left something open there in the house when he was building it. He built the house himself. He's an engineer. So I said, boy. And they were messing with my son and everything else. He caught hell, even on his job, because he was going up, and people were jealous of him. Same old mess, jealousy. Jealousy is a monster of a sin. When you have people that are jealous of you, they don't care whether they kill you or not. You don't have to do nothing to nobody. But they don't care whether you die or not. They just want their way with you. I'm glad they can't kill me, but I need to cover my kids all the time and my family, because even though they might not, they got to them too, and they don't see. So I have to cover them. So my work is cut out for me. I'm always covering somebody. It looked like I've been covering people ever since I was 18. Even when I got up and had good jobs and stuff, I always had good jobs. They come to stay with me, for months, and I never charged them. I never charged them for food. I never charged them for being there. You think they offered anything? Heck, no. But they went to work, but I didn't, Jesus. And then when I got up and got sick, you want to charge me the money they could. I said, this is not right. I'm sick and you here trying to get more money out of me. But that's what was happening. I paid it. But guess what? I'm gonna think about them less though when I get my money. I mean, I could have helped them more, but they just got greedy. They even wanted me dead because they thought they were gonna get some money. They ain't getting nothing out of me. Only people getting something out of me is my grandchildren. They showed their colors. My grandchildren get something. And it says, that's what you do. You save your money and prepare, for your grandchildren so that they can live comfortable lives, My children are already millionaires. They don't need nothing, but they still want to, try to exact money. They think if you give you anything, you have to pay it back and all that stuff. So I said, I'll pay you back. But what's going to happen when I become a multimillionaire? I was close to that already before I lost my houses. So, you know, people can make you lose a whole lot, but, you know, if you're still with God, well, he'll give it right back to you multiplied. I was a very wealthy woman, even, you know, in my early, you know, years, you know, so I always had houses. Now my children got houses. I was trying to give my houses to my kids because I was going overseas and they didn't want them. Now the people stole them, and then, you know, now they got houses, but they just got the house that their father gave them. They would have been, you know, even more so, you know. They had good jobs. They are both educated, you know. So, you know, they would have been much further along, but they didn't want my houses. They said, I don't want that. Then what's wrong with you? I was going to give them 2 houses apiece at that time. They didn't want it. So, I don't know. I should have given them that other house to live in. But anyway, I would have made more money. Anyway. All right, because I kept going overseas, you know. Anyway. I don't know why I'm telling y'all my business. I don't have nobody else to talk to really right now, to tell you the truth. That's right. Why? But anyway, I'm going to get off of here and let y'all have a rest. Go eat your dinner and be with your children and love on your children and love on your family if you can. And I'll see you in the next Just Talk. But it's not just talk, it's with wisdom. And I hope you see that. God bless you.